Today we have another compilation of One Punch Man special episodes. There's a massive competition going on. Among the competitors are the martial arts genius, Garou, and the fighting champ, Suiryu. Everyone expects the battles to be super intense. When Genos hears about it, he gets all tense and starts following Saitama closely, preparing for a fierce battle. But it turns out the competition is actually the Ultimate Gaming Championship. The winner will score a prize of 5 million yen. That prize money makes Saitama sign up on the spot. Seeing Saitama's confidence, Genos wonders if his teacher is also unbeatable at video games. Saitama says that the game isn't just about traditional joystick controls but also supports full-body VR, so he's pretty sure he'll win the 5 million yen. Soon, the first round kicks off. Saitama, losing confidence, gets ready to knock out his opponent with a single punch, but in a surprise turn, he's taken down instantly. This outcome is somewhat expected since his real-world punch power doesn't carry into the game. The opponent's character in the game is a koala wearing a bikini. It stands next to Saitama's defeated gorilla character, making fun of him. Other players are busy fighting their matches. Garou's wolf avatar fights steadily and makes it to the top 4. Suiryu's dragon avatar, with its unbeatable leg moves, also easily reaches the top 4. Up next is the big face-off between Garou and Suiryu. Their battle is intense, way more than any other match. Garou launches fierce attacks using his water stream rock smashing fist. Suiryu counters with his powerful void sky dragon fist. For a while, it's hard to tell who's winning. Just as Garou's wolf unleashes its final move, the game glitches because the move was too fast. Suiryu's dragon avatar takes the chance and defeats the wolf. Frustrated, Garou thinks about challenging Suiryu to a real-life duel, but seeing the surprised looks from the crowd, he decides against it. At the same time, another semi-final match concludes. Now, it's time for the grand finale. Suiryu's opponent is the bikini-wearing koala that beat Saitama earlier. The match starts and shockingly, ends almost immediately. Suiryu is taken down by the koala in a lightning-fast move. Suiryu thinks those moves weren't possible with just joystick controls. He thinks his opponent must be a martial arts master using a full-body VR system to control his movements. But when the champion steps up to receive the prize, Saitama and Genos are in total disbelief. Unlike what everyone thought, the champion isn't controlling the game character with a full-body VR system, but rather with just a simple game controller. The champion nonchalantly says, "Sorry, I'm just too good." Inside a park restroom, a group of thugs with special powers gathers. They're planning a big heist. But just as they finish discussing their plan, they run into Saitama, fresh out from using the toilet. Mistaking Saitama for a late team member, they spill their entire plan to him. Saitama looks utterly confused. Only when they question him do they realize they've shared their plan with a professional hero. However, they're not overly concerned. They think Saitama looks weak, perfect for warming up. As they try to attack him, they introduce themselves: Fire Guy, who can control fire; Hat Guy, who can freeze things; and Glasses Guy, who can control animals. However, their attacks do nothing to Saitama. In a fit of rage, Fire Guy tries to unleash his fire powers on Saitama, but he accidentally sets 3 of them on fire. The park's loudspeaker announces that there's a dangerous earthworm monster underground, and it has the power to control the land. Hearing this, the thug drop to their knees in fear, but Saitama is just too chill to care. The earthworm monster speaks up, expressing its frustration. It's upset that humans keep building tall buildings and concrete everywhere. It wants to show humans who really owns the land. As it speaks, it starts to flip over the concrete ground, but Saitama quickly blocks the chunks of earth the monster throws. With a single punch on the ground, he defeats the earthworm monster. Genos arrives here. The thugs mistakenly credit Genos for defeating the monster. After all, he's an S-class hero. Genos approaches the group and asks if they're trying to challenge Saitama. Out of fear, they don't admit their real intentions. Instead, they pretend they look up to Saitama and want to be heroes like him. Saitama believes they are his fans. They want to leave, but Saitama points out that to be heroes, they need to be much stronger. He suggests they train harder, running and doing various exercises, to build strength without relying solely on their special powers. Genos agrees, stressing that they shouldn't expect Saitama to take them as students easily. Later, they are paralyzed on the ground by Saitama's training. In the distance, the earthworm monster, thinking it has escaped Saitama's powerful punch, celebrates its luck. But its joy is short-lived as a bird swoops down and ends its life. To defeat a monster on the mountain, the S-class heroes brave a blizzard to climb up. They don't find any trace of the monster and decide to spend the night at a mansion owned by the Hero Association. Coincidentally, Saitama and Genos, who are trapped by the snowstorm too, are also there. They meet another hero named Flashy Flash, who's on vacation and asks not to be disturbed. They all start discussing which rooms to choose. Genos wants the biggest one. Saitama wishes to have his own room. Supra Dark Shine is okay with any room as long as he can exercise. Child Emperor and Metal Bat argue over the quietest room, while Zombieman tries to mediate. Unknown to them, a figure watches them from outside, Sonic, seeking revenge against Saitama. He waits for a chance to catch Saitama alone but grows frustrated at how long the heroes are taking to decide on the rooms. The cold bites into him, and he starts to freeze. Suddenly, he loses his balance and crashes right through a window. The group mistakes him for the mountain monster and ties him up. After some discussion, they realize he's not the monster they're after. Genos suggests they kick him out, but other heroes are worried he might freeze outside. They not only give him a coat but also bring him coffee and food. He feels warm inside, but with a cheeky attitude, he says it's just because the room's heater is too hot. Once the room situation is settled, everyone goes to their rooms. Genos stays with Saitama. At night, Sonic easily breaks free, sneaks into Saitama's room, and fights Genos. Genos uses his powerful incineration cannon, damaging the room. Because of the broken window, Saitama sneezes due to the cold. The sneeze is so powerful that it causes a blackout in the mansion. The loud noises wake everyone up, and they find Zombieman dead in the living room. They wonder if the mountain monster did it. Child Emperor concludes that the real killer is among them. Before they can figure it out, Zombieman wakes up since he's immortal. He says after the lights went out, he didn't see anyone suspicious, and he believes none of the heroes would harm each other. So, all eyes turn to Sonic. But Sonic jumps in and says he's only there to challenge Saitama, not to hurt anyone else. Child Emperor thinks the mountain monster might be behind this. He thinks this monster has the power to control minds, making the hero attack Zombieman. So, the real killer is still among them. Everyone starts to share where they were to prove they didn't do it. Genos says that he, Saitama, and Sonic were all together in a room. After the power went out, they could have moved quickly to kill Zombieman because of their speed. Sonic might be fast enough to kill one. Genos believes he could maybe kill 2 people. Saitama could kill 10. The more Genos talks about it, the worse it sounds for them. Dark Shine was working out in his room, and no one can testify for him. Metal Bat was on the phone with his sister, but since they're family, her word might not be taken as solid proof. Child Emperor was just sleeping, so he can't prove anything either. None of them can truly account for their whereabouts. Suddenly, Saitama feels like they're forgetting something. They forgot about another hero, Flashy Flash. He's in his room, drying his hair. But Saitama just can't remember, so everyone completely overlooks Flashy Flash's existence. Dark Shine brings over a delicious plate of chicken breast for a late-night snack. This lightens the mood a bit, helping everyone relax after all the tension. Zombieman then mentions he's heading upstairs to change his clothes. Child Emperor starts thinking, could the true motive of the actual culprit be to make everyone doubt each other, causing chaos and eventually having them turn against one another? What if the first person killed Zombieman is actually the real culprit? The more they discuss, the creepier the theory becomes. As everyone's debating back and forth, the Hero Association suddenly calls. They've identified the mysterious creature from the mountain. It's a demon-level bear, and its attack method is simple. It just uses brute force with punches and kicks. Everyone is stunned when they hear this. So, the creature can't control minds after all. Right then, a chilly breeze from the broken window makes Saitama sneeze. Child Emperor's eyes light up with realization. There isn't a criminal at all. With the dry air inside, the fight between Sonic and Genos created a lot of dust. That dust, moved by Saitama's powerful sneeze, had blown into the living room. So when Zombieman checked it out and sparked his lighter, it caused a dust explosion. After all this fuss, it turned out to be a silly misunderstanding. Suddenly, the bear monster from the mountain bursts in, but the heroes easily take it down. The whole comedy of errors finally comes to an end. Flashy Flash, whose excessive use of electrical appliances caused the power outage, played a part in this mix-up too. After having his meal, Saitama lounges in front of the TV. Suddenly, he gets a craving for some chips. As he reaches for a bag, he squeezes too hard, sending chips flying everywhere. Trying to grab a chip in midair, he accidentally smacks Genos, knocking him out. When Genos wakes up, shockingly, he's lost his memory. Not only does he not recognize Saitama, but his personality and voice become much more feminine. Confused, he asks why he's here. Saitama tells him it's because Genos sought him out as a mentor. Genos immediately gets outraged, declaring how easily he could draw Saitama's simple face in less than 20 seconds. Why would he ever want Saitama as a mentor? He's about to blast Saitama when Fubuki drops by. She's baffled by the scene. After discussing with Saitama, they conclude that Genos' amnesia is causing him to emulate characters from comics. As they're talking, Genos suddenly takes on the persona of a dominant CEO and starts flirting with Fubuki. Fubuki, amused, says she has urgent business and needs to leave. Not long after, Genos senses a strong energy nearby. Even with his confused mind, his body instinctively races towards it. It turns out the energy was a ruse by Fubuki, trying to convince him that he's a powerful S-class hero and a part of her Blizzard group. But her plan doesn't go smoothly. A befuddled Genos runs into the streets, struggling to understand who he is. As he's racking his brain, he stumbles upon a monster causing chaos. The bystanders recognize him as a hero and shout his name, urging him to fight. Even without his memory, Genos feels an obligation to battle, but having forgotten his combat moves, he's quickly outmatched. As the monster rants about revenge on humans, Genos feels an innate need to survive for an important mission. After being thrown against a warehouse, the impact jars his memory and strength back into place. He swiftly activates his incineration cannons and defeats the monster. Feeling apologetic, he brings Saitama some quality meat as a token of his regret. Saitama seems okay with everything, but then asks, is my face really that easy to draw in less than 20 seconds? While others might deny it, Genos doesn't want to lie to his teacher. It's clear he's truly back to normal. One day, Bang and Atomic Samurai are enjoying a peaceful fishing trip. Last week, they were fighting aliens. Now, they're lamenting how age has taken its toll on their bodies. Time really doesn't spare anyone. Across the lake from their fishing spot, Chain and Toad and Mumin Rider are chasing a mysterious creature. The creature flees into the lake. Surprised to see two people fishing there, they realize it's too late to warn them. Their only choice is to defeat the creature quickly. Meanwhile, Bang and Atomic Samurai are discussing the younger generation of heroes. Many are passionate but lack real skills. Atomic Samurai boasts about his disciple, Ian, who lost an arm during an alien invasion but trained even harder afterward. He says Ian has the spirit deserving of being his student. Bang sighs, thinking he once believed Garu had a similar relentless spirit. He's unsure about the mindset of today's young heroes. Chain and Toad uses his chain to trap the creature. Both he and Mumin Rider attempt to drag the creature out with the chain. A huge whirlpool forms in the lake. Concerned about the fisherman's safety, Mumin Rider decides to directly attack the creature. After a fierce underwater battle, both heroes are thrown onto the shore. The creature reveals itself as the giant salamander, boasting about its underwater combat prowess. Chain and Toad tries to strangle it with his chain, but the salamander swallows him whole after grabbing the chain. It then targets the two fishermen. Witnessing this, Mumin Rider, determined to stop the creature. Without hesitation, he dives into the lake to take on the monster. Unfortunately, the monster proves to be too strong for him, and he gets defeated quickly. Bang watches and commends Mumin Rider's courage, but he adds that a hero needs more than just bravery. Giant Salamander leaps out of the water, ready to attack Bang. Atomic Samurai steps in and, with a swift move of his sword, slices the monster into pieces. This saves Chain and Toad from the monster's stomach. Atomic Samurai concludes that bravery needs to be paired with real strength. After the chaos settles, Atomic Samurai asks Bang about the recent surge of monsters. He wonders if there's any strong fighter who can help. Bang mentions someone incredibly powerful, someone he admits might even be beyond his own strength. Atomic Samurai is shocked, wondering who this person could be that even Bang considers superior. One day, Puri-Puri prisoner who's locked away on Prison Island learns from a TV news broadcast that a monster is approaching their prison. He walks into the prison hall and throws a punch that breaks through the wall, making an escape hole to deal with the monster. A new prisoner sees this and starts thinking about escaping through the big hole. But an older inmate quickly warns him that except for Puri-Puri prisoner, if any of them take even one step out of here, they will be spotted by the surveillance cameras. Then the fully armed guards will rush over here and beat them into a pulp. Puri-Puri prisoner quickly defeats the monster, but during the fight, the debris from the battle accidentally damages a high-voltage power line. This causes the entire prison's electrical system to go down, and the surveillance fails. Seizing the moment, 10 prisoners escape while the monitoring is down. Puri-Puri prisoner finds out that the person responsible for the surveillance system is someone he has a soft spot for, his sweetheart. To save her from getting into trouble, he makes up his mind to catch the 10 escapees as quickly as possible. The escapees find an abandoned warehouse to hide in, but they soon realize that their numbers are dwindling as Puri-Puri prisoner has already caught some of them. In a dark alley, Puri-Puri prisoner is using deep kiss sentence to punish a caught prisoner. Suddenly, Sonic appears out of nowhere. Seeing Puri-Puri prisoner punishing those who escaped, Sonic asks if he's going to be captured too, since Sonic is also an escapee. Puri-Puri prisoner replies that Sonic escaped through his strength, so he won't make a move against him. With that, he flies away. In the warehouse, where only 5 escapees remain, everyone is nervous and afraid of being caught by Puri-Puri prisoner. Just then, a noise comes from the door. They think it's one of their own coming back. But to their surprise, it's a sea monster. It turns out that the abandoned warehouse is the monster's lair. Just as it's about to feast on them, Puri-Puri prisoner arrives and punches the monster against the wall. Puri-Puri prisoner transforms into an angel style and unleashes a barrage of punches on the monster's face. He then pins the monster down with his legs. The escapees are horrified, shivering at the thought of being captured. Puri-Puri prisoner asks if they've reflected on their mistakes, warning that if anyone hasn't, he will give them 100 deep kiss sentences. At that moment, the monster struggles and stands up again. Puri-Puri prisoner warns it not to resist, as it cannot beat him. The monster, agitated, declares that it's not about winning or losing but about its dignity. The monster refuses to die to a pervert like him. The escapees unexpectedly start supporting the monster. They think Puri-Puri prisoner is perverse and don't want to be taken back by him. They cheer for the monster, hoping it can defeat Puri-Puri prisoner. However, the result is inevitable. Puri-Puri prisoner knocks the monster down. The remaining escapees know that their attempt at freedom has come to an end, and they must face the consequences. Thanks for watching.